Hey, what's up? 219 Jello, back at it. You believe it, it's back in the shop. Hey, thanks for coming back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Please subscribe, it really helps me out here. Like the video, comment, all that stuff really helps. So what I have here today is a leaky oil pan. And I knew it leaked when I had it in here before. We're gonna address it later, and it's later. So I got to pull the oil pan, and I'm gonna try to do it within the car still. How? That's why you're here, right? I'll show you. Well, what I'm gonna try, this has not been proven yet, so I have really no idea if it's gonna work or not. But I'm gonna pull the motor mounts out, and you know, small block Chevy, 2 motor mounts. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a 383. I'm not even sure what era small block Chevy, but it appears to be a, what would that be, like a 80, I forget, like a mid-80s on down. I'm thinking that's what it is. So an old school. Not sure though, because the dipstick's on that side. So we'll see when I get the pan off. I should be able to see the rear main, and the rear main will tell me what era this is. So I'm gonna rig up around the this bracket here. It's nice and solid. And all I'm trying to do is get this engine to tilt up. It's gonna pivot off of the transmission mount. So it's gonna require me pulling the distributor cap. I don't think the headers should clear the firewall. Just pretty much the distributor cap, air cleaner. I have an electric fan already on here, so I have nothing to worry about there. If you have a regular clutch fan and a shroud, that'll have to come off too. But I don't know, here we go. All right, I was able to get the cherry picker in here, and I wrapped it around the crankshaft pulley, kind of like that. And I also pulled the distributor completely out because it was hitting the firewall. And I was able to get that much shim in there. So it's 2 2x4s and about 3/4 thick steel in there. And I got a good amount of distance in that pan now. I think it'll work. So get it up on the lift here and up in the air, and we'll see. Also, that harmonic balancer, go ahead and rotate it around so your top dead center mark's about 5 o'clock. And that's supposed to get your counterweights out of the way on the crankshaft so the pan can pull out easier. So let's see. All right, I got some room in there. So that's what I did. I think it'll work. Should work. All right, gonna pull all the pan bolts loose. I can get most of them with the impact. A couple of them I have to get the short ratchet, small one. Four corners are 1/2 inch. The rest of them are 7/16. So I'm on the halves now. All right, last 2 ratchet. That's it. Now it's time to try to get her out of there. I got the starter still in. I'm going to try to do it with it in. I may have to pull the starter. I already got the battery disconnected. FYI. Double check. All the bolts are out. Guess it's loose. I don't know. Oh man, a little more. Well, if I take the center link off, it's no big deal. That will do it. Yeah, that or the bell housing, and that ain't coming off. So if you had an automatic 350 turbo or 400 or whatever power glide, you won't have this big bell housing. This is a 5-speed car. I think you get it out if you had an automatic. FYI, I don't. So I'm gonna pull a center link. Yeah, I'll pull it off the pitman arm, and I'll pull it off of the idler arm, or pitman arm, idler arm. And that should put enough play in there, I think. We'll try that. All right, drop both tie rods, inners. Got a center link, broke loose. All right, let's put this one on. There you have it. Boom. It actually works. And yes, that 5 o'clock position on the crankshaft, that's what you want to do. I'll show you. All right, there's the crank spun at 5 o'clock. So it puts those over there. Give you some more room. You could probably go a little more. Actually, no, it puts the counterweight is way up there. That's what you want. That's perfect. 5 o'clock position. All right, well, a few days went by, and here's my old gasket. It's a little bit jacked up from taking it off. And here's the new one, and this is a Felpro 1881 gasket. It is passenger side dipstick tube, 2-piece rear main seal motor I'm working on here, which is, what I'm finding out, is about a 1980 to a 1984 350 Chevy with the passenger side dipstick. Uses a 2-piece rear main seal. Over 84, like 85, 86-ish, they switched to the one-piece rear main seal. Still passenger side dipstick. And that's the pan I purchased from Summit, and it just came in, and it's not going to work. I haven't tried it. You looked and compared, but it ain't going to work. So I'm just gonna fix this pan up. This being a 383 stroker, they want you to put a stroker clearance pan in there. I checked everything on this pan, the depths versus the counterweights on this motor, and I got an inch clearance. And this is a 7 1/4 deep pan on your sump depth. I'm not gonna switch the pan. I don't even know what pan it is. There's no numbers on it. I'm just gonna fix it. I'm gonna get all them surfaces nice and flat. You just gotta basically, I'll show you how I do it, but those bolts kind of pull through the bolt heads and they pooch out the sealing surface. You gotta just kind of hammer them back down flat. So that's my next step. All right, here's 1881 fellow pro gasket. And there is the one I know is wrong because I got that 2-piece burr main steel. This is for a 1-piece burr main. And you can see the difference right there. All the rest is the same, all but that the rear seal for the back of the pan. So that's not going to work. I knew it wasn't going to work after I ordered it. So that's going back. I just wanted to check it. And it also came with instructions, which are hard to find because I'm seeing they do not silicone these up. And there's multiple reasons why, except for the corners. All 4 corners, underneath and on top. You put a little bit of dab of silicone there. So I'm sending that back. I know I'm not going to even open the pan because I know that's wrong. Went ahead and cleaned the surface here with Scotch-Brite and a little roll-lock ear tool. Tap that hole 5/16 18, 4 corners, and then that one and all the rest on the rail 1/4 20. Ran a tap through all those. Got some brake cleaner, sprayed it, cleaned the holes out real good. Now I'm going to wipe down the gasket surface with probably brake cleaner, acetone, something that's not oily. So I want it nice and dry. So here's my original pan, and it is stroker clearanced. You see it right there, the cutouts, and I'm checking the depth and all that. So that's all I'm doing, is kind of laying that across there, and it's about 4 1/8. So I compare that to the pan I bought. So here's the pan I bought. Local speed shop had it. It also is stroker clearanced. Got a couple more small ones back here, and it's the same depth. I got something in there. Same depth. 4 1/8. Same depth here. It's a 7 and I want to say like 1/4. Yeah, 7 1/4. So that pan will work for a 3/8 stroker with those dimensions. So I'm rolling with it. All right, well, up here in this corner where the timing chain and the block meet, you're gonna put a little bit of, I'm gonna use RTV black gasket maker right there, both sides of the timing chain cover. And then back here at the main cap, the main cap itself, right there is where the gasket's gonna fit, a little indentation there. I'm gonna put just a little bit there too, both sides of the cap. Then you'll put the gasket on, and then on the gasket itself, let me show you that. So the gasket itself, you're gonna put just a little bit there, both sides, and same thing down there in that corner, just a little bit there. So you put your pan on, it'll seal up in that corner also. Here's what I'm using, ultra black gasket maker. Now for this gasket, that gasket, being as thick as they are, you should go with a little bit longer pan bolts. So for small block Chevy, that's the ones I bought right there from Summit Racing. There we go, right there. Comes with the 4, I got 2 already out, but the 4 corner ones and then the 1/4 20s for the rail. That's probably about all you need. Just trying to get out any imperfections. That should do it. All right, there's the main cap. Both sides just a little bit. Now I'm gonna slide the gasket up there, and I'm probably gonna go ahead and put some silicone actually on the pan, just on the corners, just a little bit on them corners and them corners right there. That way, once I lift it up there, I don't gotta mess around with silicone on the gasket. Just, it'll be on the pan ready to go. Got the bolt started. And I'll tell you what, the front and rear seals, the arcs, have a lot of bite to them. Because it's, you know, I tried to pan without a gasket just to make sure and it fit nice up there, you know, nice and flat. Put the gasket on, I had a gap under here. Or now it's finally drawing up, but I had a gap. So I just snuck around the corners little by little just to kind of draw it up a little bit. And then I got everything else hand tight. I did my, you know, start in the middle. I did those two, went to the other side, did the other two, came out, did the further out next to, same thing. Just keep working your way out and over and just do a back and forth pattern. And right now I got it just snug. Not even 5 foot-pounds yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my torque wrench on 5. And I'll probably work around this thing a couple times before it even gets to 5. And then once it gets to 5, I'll probably go to 8 and call it quits. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. All right, got the pan on. All the bolts are tight. 8 foot-pounds on the 1/4-20s. And I want 10 foot-pounds on the 5/16 18s. I got the steering linkage hooked back up. So the idle arms hooked back up, both inner tie rod ends. And I had the pitman arm disconnected too, I think. I think I did. No, I didn't. Just that. Anyways, all back on. And I'm gonna go ahead and lower the car down now and get the motor back down in the motor mounts. So I gotta rig it up, get the cherry picker hooked up, pull it off the blocks, lower it back down to the motor mounts, bolt them suckers back in. And I'll probably raise it back up, double check my clearances, and should be good to go. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for that repair. Ended up working out pretty good. Got the car out of the shop for now. It was still leaking oil, but not the oil pan. Ended up being the where the fuel pump rod goes through the block. There was never a bolt in there. There's like a tapped hole perpendicular to the fuel pump rod to hold the rod in when you're changing the fuel pump. And then you're supposed to pull the bolt out, put a shorter one in there, silicone it. Well, this car came in, it never had that, and it was always really wet in the front of the engine. But got that fixed. So 2 for 1 on this deal. So hey, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you have, thanks, and like the video. All them things help. See you next time.